Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Are you ready to navigate the information currents with us today?
Hope so.
We've got a stack of sources here, all about the world of South Korean YouTube. We're going to unpack who's really hitting it big, and maybe more importantly, why.
Right. Looking at everything from subscriber counts to, whether people genuinely like them.
Exactly, and through lots of different lenses.
Yeah, the sources we're diving into today, they go way beyond just listing rankings. By looking at Korean YouTubers from all these different angles and criteria, our mission, really, for this deep dive is to get a better handle on the fascinating and, rapidly changing trends in the YouTube world, and maybe what's going on underneath it all.
It should give you a fresh perspective, hopefully, on how to look at the channels you watch every day.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's get into it. So first off, how do we even define popularity here? Just looking at the sources we have, the rankings are like all over the place depending on what you measure.
Absolutely. That's kind of the first big takeaway. You see channels with just massive subscriber counts.
Yeah.
Others where recent views have just exploded. And then a totally different set of channels that Koreans actually said they like the most in surveys.
Huh. So no single number tells this story.
Not at all.
Like if you look just at subscriber counts, some sources mention K-pop groups, right? Like Blackpink and BTS dominating the very top.
Right. Absolutely huge numbers. But they often get left out of lists that are focusing on individual YouTubers.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then sites like Social Blade or Bling, they give you another picture again.
Exactly. And then look at estimated annual income. The Forbes Korea source dives into this.
Oh.
And a whole different set of names pops up. The average estimate for the top 100 was around, 2.8 billion Korean won.
Wow. Average.
But the number one earner, this channel, Crazy Grappa, estimated at a staggering 21.65 billion won.
21 billion for one channel. That's incredible.
It really is. And channels like Giang's, they're also way up there on that income list.
Okay, mind blown already.
Yeah.
Then you have the KTN source, which ranked channels by recent 30-day view count.
Yeah, a very different metric again. And this is where Kim Pro just shoots to the top. Over 3 billion views in just 30 days.
3 billion in a month.
Crazy numbers. GHS is another one really high up in that recent view ranking.
So subscribers, income, recent views, all different leaders.
And then, maybe most interestingly, the Gallup Korea survey results, the ones reported by Hankyor newspaper, they actually asked people who their favorite YouTubers were, a qualitative thing.
Okay, so who people actually like.
Exactly. And here, Yu Duyang ranked first with about 5.2% preference, and Kwaktube was second with 4.0%.
Duyang and Kwaktube, that's different from the others.
Very different. And it's interesting, Kim Pro, the one with the huge view count, only 10th in that preference survey, despite the massive numbers.
Okay, so pulling these sources together, it's crystal clear that popularity isn't just one simple thing. Depends entirely on the lens you use, right? Subscribers, income, recent views, actual audience preference.
You get a completely different landscape each time.
So let's dig into that landscape. Within all these different rankings, what kinds of content, what genres are really holding strong or breaking through?
Right, good question. What are the actual trends in the types of content people are watching and liking?
Well, this is where we see some persistent powerhouses.
Yeah.
The outstanding TV transcript points out that mukbang, eating shows, kids content, and ASMR have been consistently strong for years now.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Looking at the Wanna Read ranking, too, you see a mix, but mukbang and kids definitely pop up a lot.
Like who?
Well, there's Nodo for kids, Songanas for mukbang, Honsha, Epgeo Yinatnam, also mukbang. But also Jane Fella for music covers, Rizabai for beauty, Grandma Park Macrai doing that kind of intergenerational thing. But mukbang and kids, they just keep appearing high up.
And that Hankyor preference survey you mentioned, did mukbang show up there too?
Oh, yeah. Tuyang, who was number one, is mukbang. And others like Hamzi, Shambo, Hibab, Maikam, Igongsam, they all did well in the preference survey too. Mukbang is definitely popular and liked.
So why are mukbang and kids content so dominant? The outstanding TV analysis had some ideas, right?
It did. It suggested they have pretty low language barriers, which is huge for attracting a global audience.
Makes sense. You don't always need to understand the language to watch someone eat or, kids playing.
Exactly. And kids content apparently gets a ton of repeat viewing. Kids watch the same thing over and over.
Right. I can see that. And ASMR is still going strong, too, like ASMR and Shep the ASMR.
Yep. Sources like Outstanding TV, Neverblog, NamuWiki all point to them maintaining high rankings consistently. Seems like a very dedicated audience base.
Okay, so those are the long-term players. But you mentioned something new.
Yes, there's a really significant new wave we have to talk about. The rise of Shorts creators.
Oh, yeah. Shorts. I know I could lose hours just scrolling through them. It's addictive.
Totally. And the Outstanding TV source really hammered this point home. Channels like Kimpro, again, Yoonju, Beatbox J, and Oya Gray. They've apparently grown incredibly fast using these short-form videos, just rocketed into the top tiers.
Wow. So shorts are really shaking things up.
Massively. If you look at the Forbes income list or the KTN recent views list, you see a bunch of shorts-focused channels there.
So it's not just views, it's translating into income too.
It seems so. And it shows how platform changes like YouTube pushing shorts, reaching, 2 billion users now, have a direct, huge impact on who succeeds.
So creators who jump on the new format get rewarded by the platform's push.
That seems to be a big part of it. Adapt or, maybe get left behind by the fastest growth trends.
Interesting. So beyond mukbang, kids, ASMR, and shorts, what else is popular? You mentioned travel.
Yeah, definitely. Travel's big. Quacktube, Penny Bottle, Wanji's Everyday, Colin. They pop up across several sources like Wanna Read, Hankior, Forbes. People love travel vlogs.
And lifestyle, like Wanji's Everyday again.
Web entertainment, too, like Channel Sequoia, beauty, with Riza Base still being a major player.
Right. And cooking.
Cooking's always popular. Paik Chong-won, obviously, he's huge. But also channels like Jacquiarzen focused on cooking for one, apparently quite popular, according to Hankior and Forbes.
So it's not just mukbang and shorts. There's still a lot of variety finding success.
Definitely. Lots of different niches attracting audiences. Which kind of leads us into the ecosystem itself.
Okay.
These trends in popularity and genre, they're happening within this unique YouTube environment. Let's dive a bit deeper into some of the mechanics behind it all, like revenue, channel growth, that sort of thing.
Right. The money side. You mentioned the Forbes Korea estimates earlier.
Oh.
Staggering amounts. Billions of won annually for the top folks.
Yeah, tens of billions in some cases. And it's not just ad revenue, right?
No, the sources mention other streams, super chat donations during live streams,
Paid channel memberships.
and sponsored content, brand deals, that kind of thing.
So multiple income streams for those at the top.
But what about channel growth and, loyalty?
Outstanding TV had an interesting point about subscribers sticking around.
Yeah, that was fascinating. They pointed out that subscribers, once gained, tend not to leave easily, even if a channel gets less active or even if it, changes hands.
Changes hands, like people sell their channels.
Apparently so. And the subscriber count often doesn't just plummet, which really highlights how important that trust capital is between the creator and the audience.
Wow. So the audience feels connected to the channel itself, maybe, not just the original person.
It suggests a strong bond, yeah. The fact that channel trading platforms exist and are active, it's kind of wild.
It really is.
Yeah.
Did they mention any risks with that? Outstanding TV did caution about risks, especially in, personal non-platform transactions. Makes sense.
Yeah. So the whole ecosystem is just getting bigger then. More big channels.
Seems like it. Outstanding TV mentioned there are now over 20 channels in Korea with diamond buttons. That's over 10 million subscribers.
20 channels, over 10 million subs in Korea alone.
Yep. And YouTube itself keeps growing. This is also linked to that trend of, established celebrities and TV personalities moving on to YouTube.
Like Paik Jong-won, the chef, or Kim Chang-ok, the speaker.
Exactly. They bring existing audiences and professionalism, adding to the platform's scale, mentioned in Outstanding TV and Hankiora.
But it can't all be smooth sailing, right? It must be downsides or controversies.
Well, yeah, Forbes Korea did touch on some of the issues that can come up when chasing those big incomes.
Like what?
They use terms like donor cyberwrecker, which seems to refer to channels stirring up drama or controversy for views,
Yeah.
and atitaf, back ads, which refers to undisclosed sponsorships. Basically, ethical gray areas or outright problems that arise.
Right. And just to be clear, we're just relaying what the source discussed here, not taking a side on any specific channel.
Absolutely. Just reporting on the issues raised in the source material, but it's part of the landscape Forbes described.
And there was a point from a lawyer quoted in Forbes.
Yes, Lee Young-hae. He basically argued that content crossing ethical lines just for quick profit probably won't keep viewers long term.
Makes sense.
The sources seem to suggest overall that things like consistency, sincerity, and actually maintaining that relationship with subscribers, that's the foundation for real, lasting success.
So that trust capital again, it seems crucial. Can you really build something lasting without it?
That's the big question, isn't it? The sources suggest probably not.
Okay, so one last major piece of this picture mentioned across several sources, K-pop.
Ah, yes. The elephant in the room, maybe. Or rather, the global superstar in the room.
Right. Official K-pop channels like Blackpink, BTS, HYBE labels, their numbers are just on another level entirely.
Completely different league. The Naver blog and Namawiki sources noted Blackpink was nearing like 100 million subscribers, already past 90 million.
90 million. That's population of a large country level.
Pretty much. And while they're often separated from lists of individual creators, you can't talk about Korean YouTube's global impact without them.
No way. Outstanding TV specifically called out K-pop's immense global reach as like one of the most impressive aspects they analyzed.
Definitely. It shows the sheer scale Korean content can achieve on the platform.
So when you put it all together, the Korean YouTube scene is this dynamic mix, isn't it?
It really is. You've got the global power of K-pop, then this huge variety of individual creators finding success in different ways, and these big platform shifts like Shorts fundamentally changing the game is constantly evolving.
Wow. Okay, we covered a lot today. It's clear that popularity on Korean YouTube is, well, complicated. Subscriber counts, views, income, what people actually like,
Yeah.
they all paint a different picture.
Exactly. And you've got these familiar powerhouses, kids, mukbang, ASMR is still going strong, but then this really rapid rise of Shorts creators shaking everything up.
Yeah, that was really striking. And you can't ignore the sheer global dominance of the official K-pop channels either. That's a huge part of the story.
Absolutely. It feels like success there isn't just about hitting a certain number. It's about, the appeal of the actual content, how well creators adapt to platform changes.
Yeah, and maybe most importantly, that trust capital, that relationship built with the audience over time.
That seems to be the recurring theme, doesn't it?
It does. So after hearing all this, what are you thinking now? How is the popularity of your favorite channels measured? Is it views, subs, or something else?
Yeah, and how do you think Korean YouTube is going to change next? What's the next big wave after Shorts?
Lots to chew on.
Definitely. In this constantly shifting online world, that relationship between the creator and the viewer and how content gets made and watched, it's going to keep throwing up fascinating questions. We hope this deep dive gave you some valuable insights of your own.